This is Wildcat Walkthrough, and here are your hosts, Elaina and Aria.
Welcome to Wildcat Walkthrough, UNH's premier student recap of all things Wildcats. I'm Elaina Grant.
And I'm Aria Elaina. To start this week's show, we sent it down to Michael Willard with the recap of the men's hockey border battle with Maine.
The 20th ranked Wildcats took on the 11th ranked Maine Black Bears this weekend to kick off this season's border battle. The Wildcats dropped the game 5-2, moving their record to 7-4-1 this season and 72-71-13 all time. Harrison Blaisdell started the scoring for the Cats at 13:35 into the first period, and it was looking like the lead would hold into intermission. However, Maine scored a power play goal with just 3.7 seconds left of the period. The scoring kicked off early in the second period with just 23 seconds in. The Black Bears took the lead when they netted a loose puck in front of the net. There was a pause on scoring until there was just 1:28 left of the second period. The third period saw more dominating play from Maine as they scored 2 goals within 2 minutes of each other to extend their lead to 5-1 at 5:55 and 7:54 of the period. Both of those goals came on the power play. With just a couple minutes left of the game at 17:38, Steven Sidarian cut their lead down to 3 on a one-timer on the power play. The Cats will return home this Saturday at 4 p.m. where they'll look to improve on their 5-1-1 home record. For Wildcat Walkthrough, I'm Michael Willard.
The Wildcats look to get back in the win column this week against RPI on Friday before taking a long winter break.
Men's hockey freshman Ryan Comney was named Hockey East Rookie of the Week for his performance in the 2-game series against RIT November 24th and 25th. Comney has 2 goals on the 24th in UNH's 5-4 loss against the Tigers, but tied the game 3-3 with just 5.3 seconds left to force overtime. Comney then assisted Cy Leclerc on a breakaway in overtime for the game-winning goal with just 6.2 seconds left. This is Comney's first accolade as a Wildcat.
Olivia Kelly and Sally Rainey of the women's soccer team earned All-Region for their performances in the 2023 season. Kelly totaled a team-high 1,427 minutes played this season, being named America East Defensive Player of the Year. Rainey had an average of .67 goals against this season, which led the conference and was named America East Goalie of the Year.
The field hockey team also brought home All-Region hardware with sisters Tamara and Tasman Cookman taking home first-team honors, and Nicole Polakis making the second team. Tasman had a stellar year, winning America East Offensive Player of the Year and led the team in goals. While Tamara had a team-leading 4 game-winning goals, Polakis was able to lead the team with 11 assists this year.
Quarterback Max Brosmer and running back Dylan Lobby found themselves on the All-New England team, which highlights the best college football players of the region. Brosmer will now move on to Big Ten play as a graduate player for the Minnesota Gophers, while Lobby will head to the 2024 NFL Draft.
We'll take a break here, but coming up, Summer Simpkins recaps a big week for the Wildcat basketball teams.
Welcome back to Wildcat Walkthrough.
Now we go to Summer Simpkins as she brings us up to speed on the men's basketball games against Columbia and Dartmouth this week.
UNH men's basketball team's back home at One Home Gymnasium on Sunday against Columbia University. The Cats look to continue their momentum that they had against Sacred Heart with a 90-84 victory. In the last matchup against the Lions, Columbia University took the win 56-52. Through the first half, the Lions led the Cats with a score of 35-28. The Cats looked to bounce back in the second half with a quick 5 points from Clarence Daniels and Jackson Baker to cut the Columbia lead down to 2. Freshman forward Davide Poster hits a mid-range jumper to tie the game at 42. Daniels made a great one-on-one play to put the Cats on top of the Lions for the first time since the first. Jackson Baker hits a 3 with a minute 30 remaining in the game and then hits a layup with 34 seconds left to seal the win for the Cats with an 80-71 victory. Junior Ahmad Robinson had a career game with 24 points and 8 rebounds. With this win, the Cats are undefeated at home on the season and improved their record to 6-3 on the season. The Cats will play Dartmouth on December 6th at 7 p.m., and you can catch that game on ESPN+. With that, this is Wildcat Walkthrough. I'm Smiley.
The men's basketball team hosts Stonehill on Monday, December 11th at 7 p.m. The game will also be streamed on ESPN+.
Now let's go to Ada Murphy on a recap of women's basketball teams' matchups against Central Connecticut State and Stonehill.
The New Hampshire women's basketball team continued their bounce-back quest last Saturday against a Central Connecticut State team that has given its America East opponents a really difficult time so far this season. Although coming into the game 1-6 on the year, Central Connecticut State came ready and prepared to give UNH a fight as they took the court. The first quarter was a close battle. New Hampshire began with a 7-0 run to open the game, but the Blue Devils called a timeout and quickly regrouped. Guard Samora Watson drilled 3-pointers and a paint jumper on a one-woman 8-0 run in Central Connecticut's favor. The rest of the quarter was a back-and-forth affair and concluded in a 1-point advantage for the Wildcats. New Hampshire began to pull away in a dominant second quarter, though. The Blue Devils only managed 3 points in the frame, while 5 Wildcats scored, including 3-pointers from Avery O'Connor and multiple layups from Sharmella Reed. UNH entered the half up 21 points at the conclusion of the 23-3 quarter. At the start of the second half, Central Connecticut stayed competitive, but were at best only able to pull within 15 points of the Wildcats in the third quarter. After the Blue Devils kick-started their offense courtesy of a full-court press and a couple of scores off turnovers from Belle Lanfer, the scoring leveled out once again. New Hampshire continued to lean on their balanced scoring attack and held off CCSU's resurgent offensive attack. After 3 different Wildcats scored to open the final frame, Watson found her stride once again. The sophomore transfer from East Carolina recorded 22 points on 8 of 8 shooting, including 3 of 4 from the free throw line, a rebound, and a steal. Watson finished with 38 points on the day, a career high, but it wasn't enough to overcome a New Hampshire squad that thrived off a balanced scoring attack from 11 different players. Ultimately, the Wildcats persevered 79-64 and took home their second straight victory to improve to 4-5 on the season, as the Blue Devils fell to 1-7. New Hampshire traveled to Stonehill this past Wednesday and took home their third straight victory off the heels of strong performances from Avery O'Connor and Adara Groman. They will next take the court against Brown at home on December 9th. For Wildcat Walkthrough, I'm Ada Murphy.
The women's basketball team hosts Brown at noon on December 9th at the Fieldhouse and streaming on ESPN+.
Coming up, Jesse Marzullo recaps the women's hockey team's matchup with the Vermont Catamounts.
Welcome back to Wildcat Walkthrough. Now let's go to Jesse Marzullo.
The women's hockey team faced the number 13 University of Vermont this past Saturday, resulting in a 1-0 victory for the Wildcats. Freshman goalie Sedona Blair had an outstanding game, making 25 saves to shut out the Catamounts. Early in the game, efforts were made by both teams, but neither were able to get the puck past the goaltenders. The Catamounts goalie, Jessie McPherson, recorded 14 saves, but Blair was able to extend her shutout streak to 180 minutes and 40 seconds. The University of Vermont outshot the Wildcats 25-15, but was unable to get a point on the board. Nicole Kelly got the game-winning goal for the Wildcats early on in the third period. A feed from Marina Alvarez from the top right circle to Annie Berry allowed for Nicole Kelly to gain possession and find the back of the net to put the Wildcats in the lead. Nicole Kelly tallied her 4th goal of the season. Marina Alvarez's assist on Kelly's goal now ties her with Kira Judikis and Kyla Bent for 7 assists this season. Alvarez also tied in second place for points with junior Shea Verrier. With the win against the Catamounts, the Wildcats' record improves to 9-7-1, 6-4-1 in Hockey East. They will return to action this Friday, December 8th at 6 p.m. at the Whittemore Center at Kyoto Group Complex as they face the Providence College Friars for the Wildcat Toy Drive and Teddy Bear Toss. And for Wildcat Walkthrough, I'm Jesse Marzullo.
Women's hockey hosts Brown on December 10th at 2 p.m. with the game streaming on ESPN+.
UNH's Holiday Toy Drive kicked off at last week's hockey clash with Holy Cross and continues throughout this upcoming weekend. If you're heading to either Providence or Brown games at the WIT, UNH Athletics asks for you to bring a new unwrapped toy to benefit the Toys for Tots.
That will do it for this week's episode of Wildcat Walkthrough. I'm Aria Elaina.
And I'm Elena Grenz. It's always a great day to be a Wildcat.